space. Knows things, sees things, doesn't so much think about things. Look at the idea of belief today. There's a couple, maybe many levels of belief. We often say, well, I believe this or that. That's our brain. Our emotions believe things too. That person hurt. Just when I look at them, I feel hurt. But I want to play a little deeper with beliefs. Jesus talked about belief and faith, he called it. Same thing. According to a guy I read who spoke Aramaic and went back and retranslated the Gospels directly from Aramaic to English, the phrase that the church has used is Jesus says, unless you believe in me, you're screwed. The guy says in Aramaic that phrase also means unless you believe as I do, you can't use this stuff. So how did Jesus believe? For myself, I like to go back in those stories and imagine this being there. Here's Jesus, the human, standing there, got some contact with the divine. What did he believe that let him do what he did? So then to come forward, Anna mentioned the other day that, like, if we hold this state of mind, the flow just kind of happens for us. Parking places, life, suddenly a community shows up to live at, and you think you're home in the way somewhere else. That's part of belief. But what mindfulness would point to is learning to recognize our beliefs at that deeper level. Because according to Jesus, that's what shapes our reality. And of course, there's a lot of New Thought teachings that emphasize that too. But what do I really believe is the question in mindfulness. It kind of goes on all the time. When I spot a reaction in me, that's awareness. Can I see where or how much I believe that that is true? I'm afraid of that's going to get me. I'm afraid the power's going to go out and we're going to freeze to death. The point is, we empower those reactions with our beliefs. We give them more or less credibility. So the mindfulness application of belief is to begin recognizing the deeper levels. And I need to be quite honest with myself about them. I don't want to admit I'm really afraid of them cats. I want to think, oh, no, I know I don't need to worry about cats. But in the meantime, I'm really worried Kevin's going to leave the door open a crack and they're going to come in here. the established orders of power in the world, the empires and the churches, have taught that we don't have any power in our belief. It would be very tough to run an empire or a church if everybody just knew, oh, I'm one with the source of my being, and it can flow through me just like it did for Christ or a whole bunch of other dudes. So we've been programmed from day one by society to not listen to, and especially not to explore as a possible reality, what is the power of our belief? We can see it in some degree here in our daily life. All of us here pretty much believe in some form that life is a happy adventure. Let's just float with it and sort it out and see what, but we expect it to give a good result. That's a belief. There's other people that just believe life is hell, it's going to shit, and it does for them. That everybody is an enemy and they're in a constant state of stress at their job, even with their family, even with themselves. So it's worth some time to just muse on what do I believe, and then I would suggest to realize our awareness, like it can change our reactions to the world from the past, it can work with us to change up our beliefs, to give us, I would say, a deeper, better belief. But am I willing to go there? How far down the rabbit hole am I willing to fall? How crazy am I willing to get? And I can't say for anybody, no one can say for anybody else, but those kind of spaces appear in our mind, and I'm suggesting, let go and fall in, see where it goes. So that's kind of the topic I wanted to open up for today. Let's see what kind of crazy the rest of you know about in there.
Maybe one day the cats will come in.
That brings up the interesting point. If we all have the power of belief to shape our reality, then what do we do when a Kevin shows up that wants to let the cat in?
It makes me wonder if a group of people with the same belief has the power to change the things around them.
Wow. That's where I was going to go with this in a little bit. Thank you.
Yeah, I just needed to get that door open.
Yeah. I have a strong feeling that is true. I find I can't lock down exact beliefs anymore, but it's more of a it seems, most likely kind of feelings I get, and that's a very most likely, and it seems it's true. So, traditionally that has been taught as a reality when they simply say, pray for people, pray for peace, pray for healing, pray for whatever. So there is a collective belief that belief has power, except it's often set off to the side as a special category called prayer, and we're not sure it really works, but it feels good when I do it, so I'll continue, But yeah, what if the collective? What if 10,000 citizens in Minnesota all stepped out in front of ICE on one day, which they did yesterday, and prevented ICE from getting to their targets? 10,000 people, all of the same mind, had an effect we could see in the world. But what led to that 10,000 people suddenly got the idea, oh, it's a lovely 6 degrees out, I think I'm gonna go out and just stand there in the cold for most of the day and protest these. But they did. So, again, just using, what is the power of our belief, individually and collectively? Can we change up this crazy world?
I think a large part of those who have, I know Brother Stefan doesn't like the word ascended, but has
Mm-hmm.
seen past the veil, and those we would call light workers or earth angels or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
is it's tough to hold that frequency of love and forgiveness in such contrasting environment. But when we do that, it's almost like an act of being like delusional or delulu, they would say.
Mm-hmm.
And to hold that frequency of like, yeah, we can definitely do this, we can build this, and everyone else is like, you're crazy, you're delusional, it's
Yeah.
not gonna happen. But when you hold and you feel that, just like when you start off this meeting with like, when you hold that space that I will have a nice parking spot, you know,
Mhm.
just that one simple intention, and you broadcast it out there into the universe, the
Mhm.
field, the vortex or whatever, and it picks it up, and it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
So when a group of us is like in that higher frequency, we can manifest whatever, like opening doors to cats or something like that. Maybe one day, if we keep pushing that delulu, you know?
Yeah.
But holding that that's the challenge, is
Yeah.
holding that frequency and not having everybody else around you text you and tell you this and that, and bringing that down, kind of like the crab in the bucket mentality. I find that personally for me is the hardest part.
Me too.
And it's like, get them out,
Yeah.
you know? But,
When I'm up in that, it feels very certain, all of these truths. And yet, another moment, I'm like, oh, you're just crazy, and you're just wasting your life sitting around thinking about love and peace, you know? And you're right, it flops in my mind between, and they're very, like, distinct. I can see clearly
Yeah.
now, oh yeah, I'm in
Mhm.
shit brain today.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
and that's part of what I was gonna lead to here. It's something that we as a group can do, is supporting each other in getting back to La La Land. Because I believe that's where the universe moves through us. It's in our imagination, which can become prayer. Before yesterday, I could not have imagined 10,000 people would come out in single-digit weather to a protest and oppose, but they did. So now we've been given, the collective has given us back a boost into the la-la. It's our job, that you're putting it, I think, to hold that, to take it and say, yes, this stuff's working. Okay, I don't need to understand how, or even have an idea of how. It's just, wow, I'm seeing it working, so I'm just gonna stay in that belief up there. Now, show me how to work it. What's my part in working it, you know? And of course, that's where my book world comes from, is playing with those fun ideas. But the very real feeling in here that somehow it's a little bit kinder to the universe to feed those silly cats out there. So we do. Okay, all I need to do is pay attention to my ideas of expressing love, and then just go ahead and do and be them here in this world. That's kind of where I put it.
Just thought of prayer, in a sense, is the act of being delusional.
Yes. That awareness. Yeah. Yeah. So we go to church and they say, well, pray. And then they say, you gotta get real, you know, and you got bills to pay, and you got immigrants coming to take your job, and so yeah, from the world mind, it is delusional to pray. I like Jesus as an example because of the far out stories. I mean, him and Buddha and Lao Tzu pretty much agreed on all the basics of the power of our mind to shape our experience here. But Jesus took it a little bit further, like, man, you want bread, man? Have some bread. Yeah, I'll throw in some fishes too. And we base a whole religion, this whole community is based on his teachings, but we draw a line, the la-la, you know? It's like, well, you can't really expect, well, he was special. No, but he also said, you, disciples, go do this stuff I've been doing. I'm giving you that connection to do it. He also said, greater things will you do than I have done. Oh, well, we just don't listen to those teachings. We don't pay any attention to that crazy stuff. I don't know. I'm crazy. Since third grade or whatever, when I would read the Jesus stories, it's like, yeah, this dude is cool. That's my superhero, you know?
I think of Jesus, I feel like he was a portal himself. He had this access to these loving frequencies, and then those who are around him felt that, and it activated within their DNA or their vessel to expand and open up. And when he left, of course, the shitstorm started or whatever.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people sometimes with me, they can be portals too.
Yeah, I
good
think-
or bad.
I think anyone can be. You know, I think my personal thoughts, but that he came to open that portal for this consciousness on planet Earth to say, look, you have direct access to the creative source, and it loves you. You know, you're part of it, in fact, because there is nothing but God. So creation is inside of God. It's part of, you know, they, whatever we want to picture it. It more than loves you. It's creating you right now as part of itself. I mean, and you can feel that portal begin to open, I think, with that kind of thinking, believing. And I think he came to show us the reality of that. Like walking around, right here I am, yep, damn, I got a splinter. Human, yet need some bread? Have some bread at the same time.
Clear vase, sparkly, holographic, empty vase that the universe flows through.
Mm-hmm.
And that could trigger a lot of people with a lot of junk in there. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
sure why I'm saying vase or cup, but yeah,
Yeah.
like my cup overflowing. His is just a different material.
Yeah. No, sometimes it feels like my cup's going to explode when I'm pulling the feeling of the big in, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, like you're being lifted in a wave. Yeah.
But, so, playing at is, can we as a group leave that opening to the divine, just leave it open? What's it gonna show me this afternoon, tomorrow? You know? And maintain that as a lightweight practice. Just, oh yeah, what's the universe have to say about this? What's God want me to do? I mean, whatever words we are each comfortable with is fine. It doesn't use our words. It is what it is. And, that's my take on it.
We've been saying the word kaleidoscope often, and I think each and every one of us is like a little fragment of light that reflects back to us individually and see what we still have to work on, or what
Mhm.
the potential we can carry.
Yeah. Yeah. We're each in a kaleidoscope internally, you know, all the different phases and moods of our mind, and old programs and reactions, and the happy stuff too. And yeah, it just rotates as it will. I don't get any say on what's in the picture today.
Mhm.
But I can remember something behind that. And I believe that's where we learn we are actually the life from the source directly. We're not getting more, we're not going somewhere to get it. We're recognizing more and more, oh, I am that creative source's life now. And it wants to help me sort my kaleidoscope. You know, just make it prettier. We get to keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a part in co-creating that kaleidoscope
Yeah, we
too.
do.
We can choose it to be very dark and
Right.
all that stuff, but it can also be
Beautiful.
unicorns and bubbles and all that jazz.
Well, how far can it go? Go.
Infinitely.
I'm all for that. So again, the level of crazy, it's all in the Gospels. I mean, everything we've talked about is there. We want to get there.